The family of the late Kim Saeron has now unveiled explosive conversations and letters between her and Soohyun, shedding light on the relationship that began when Saeron was just a minor. With Saeron confirming their relationship lasted 5 to 6 years, and Soohyun's disturbing texts requesting physical relations when Saeron was only 15, here's everything that was revealed by her family. At a press conference on March 27th, the legal representative of Saeron's family, Boo Ji-sok, presented text messages exchanged between Saeron and Soohyun, which took place in June 2016. The messages revealed Saeron sending a heart emoji and a kissing sound to Soohyun, to which he responded by suggesting she do it in real life. In another exchange, she asked if he missed her, and he replied in a teasing manner, turning the question back on her. Their conversation continued, with Saeron commenting on how deeply he sleeps, leading Soohyun to agree that he wouldn't notice even if she kissed him. She responded playfully, suggesting she could do it multiple times without him realizing. Soohyun then asked if he could hold her while falling asleep, saying it would help him rest better, and Saeron agreed. Not to mention he asked if kissing was allowed and if he could kiss her in the future, implying that he had asked before and Saeron had rejected him. Since Gold Medalist and Soohyun had maintained that their relationship only began after Saeron became an adult, the family's legal representative challenged the statement, highlighting that she was just 15 at the time. He pressed further, questioning Soohyun directly about the true nature of their relationship, emphasizing that if it wasn't romantic, he should clarify exactly what it was. Other things that the family revealed were the texts between Saeron and the person who first talked about the relationship, whom Soohyun's side accused of not being her real aunt. Whether the two were blood related or not, the text showed that the two were quite close, almost like family. There were also screenshots of texts between Saeron and a friend of hers, where she tells the friend about receiving the legal notice and how distressed she was by it. In the texts, Saeron opens up about her frustration, saying the company broke their contract. What was supposed to be a 70-30 revenue split, with the company covering 30% of costs, turned into her being forced to pay everything. Her friend stresses how serious the situation is and worries about the toll it might take on both of them, hinting at the potential damage it could cause. Saeron then reveals an even darker concern. If the company intentionally put her in this mess, she feels like there's nothing left for her. Her friend urges her to reach out for help and questions how the company can just ignore her. Saeron feels overwhelmed, saying their silence is pushing her to the edge. The conversation then shifts to the overwhelming financial burden, with her friend pointing out that getting even 70 million won would be a challenge, but 700 million won was almost impossible to imagine. As Saeron struggled with feelings of abandonment, her friend suggests calling her ex-boyfriend, Soohyun in this case, for help and asks if she's heard from him. Finally, Saeron breaks down, mourning the loss of her first love and feeling like her whole world is falling apart. Her friend understands, acknowledging that after 6 years together, it's normal for her to feel this way, but encourages her to move on. Boo Ji-sok also made public a letter that Saeron had written to Soohyun after she was informed about the lawsuit, in which she began by asking how he was doing before explaining that the reason she was writing was to clear up any misunderstandings about their relationship. In the letter, she shared that she had been unable to get in touch with anyone from the agency and admitted that she was deeply afraid after receiving the legal notice. Then she apologized for posting the picture of them together, explaining that she had done so in an attempt to get the company's attention, as she felt she had no other way to reach them. Saeron expressed regret once again for any harm she may have caused him by sharing the photo, revealing that she had been feeling uneasy and frightened around the agency's staff, which had only added to her distress. She continues, "We had been dating for 5-6 years. You were my first love and my last love, so I wish you wouldn't avoid me. Seeing you avoid me and not even acknowledging me makes me feel like all the time we spent together was meaningless." Saeron even asks if they could remain friends and support each other, questioning whether he truly dislikes her that much, and if so, why. She goes on to say that if this letter never reaches him, then it means their relationship has come to an end, which was a thought that saddened her. She assures him that she won't interfere in his life anymore, but admits she still hopes to see him happy and smiling one day. At the end of the letter, she includes her phone number, asking him to call if he receives it. Interestingly, she also expresses concern about who might read it first, saying she hopes Soohyun himself sees it rather than his cousin, the co-founder of Gold Medalist. In closing, Saeron tells him she wishes him happiness, success in both his career and personal life, and that she hopes he remembers their time together without any bitterness. As unsettling as everything was, it was nothing compared to the more explicit messages that came to light. In a screenshot shared by the legal representative, Soohyun is seen asking Saeron how long it would take before they could be physically intimate, wondering if it would take a year or even 3. She responds by saying that a year feels like a long time, to which Soohyun follows up by asking if 6 months would be more reasonable. Saeron, who was only 15 at the time, responds with, "I'll do it when I want to. No promises." Unfortunately, the situation doesn't stop there. It was previously reported that Soohyun might have been involved in actions similar to the nth room crimes when Saeron was a minor. However, details about these claims were not shared during the conference, and it's unclear what exactly happened, as there was an effort to protect Saeron and her family's reputation. The texts and the letter were all it took to validate that everything Saeron's family had said was true. They not only confirmed a 6-year relationship between the two, which happened when Saeron was 15 and Soohyun was 27, but also showed how Soohyun tried to pressure and manipulate Saeron into taking things further despite the fact that she was only a minor. Even those who trusted the family found the texts incredibly disturbing and hard to stomach. A commenter wrote, "He's so disgusting, so disgusting. That's a child. The way she talks, how innocent she is, that's a child, and he ruined her entire life. He took her life." Additionally, people pointed out that he tried to make himself seem more childish and immature, as if the 12-year age gap wasn't there and as if he wasn't the one holding all the power. And what's even worse is how the text with his friend backed up everything Saeron's family had claimed. Soohyun's threats and manipulation pushed her to take her life. He demanded a huge sum of money from her, money that was just pocket change to him, while allegedly starting a campaign with the media and Lee Jin-ho to destroy her reputation. This made it impossible for her to find a job, especially considering her unfinished schooling. Even worse, she couldn't even get back to acting, leaving her stuck in debt with no way to repay it. The worst thing is that the money he asked for was what he made from just one episode of Queen of Tears, which tells us just how little he needed it. Then, after causing so much pain, he ignored her, acted like she didn't exist, and then had the nerve, along with the agency, to imply that she was delusional for posting a picture of them last year. His actions were incredibly messed up, and to the public, it's clear he deserves to face not only legal consequences for dating a minor, but also for his role in her tragic end. The public also praised how the family handled the situation, with experts presenting the evidence and sharing raw forensic data, leaving no room for doubt. However, it was also heartbreaking to see the family having to prove their care for Saeron. Given how the media, Lee Jin-ho, and the gold medalist made it seem like the family wasn't involved, it was unfair that they had to demonstrate their love and show how close Saeron's aunt was to her, despite not being blood related. The situation got even more serious as after the press conference, Garosero released another video. In it, the host accused Soohyun of sending a wildly inappropriate video to Saeron while she was still a minor. The video, possibly filmed during his trip to France, showed Soohyun and an acquaintance looking at mannequins wearing undergarments. He seemed to compare the mannequin's body to that of Korean women and made unsettling comments, saying, "They don't have these in Korea, right? I mean such bodies. Ones with such proportions, ones as hot as these. How can Korean women take after them?" Then, the camera pans away and he mentions a father and daughter passing by, with the daughter looking shocked. He adds, "We locked eyes. I'm not even embarrassed." While there has been no response from Soohyun or his agency as of March 27th, the public believes there's nothing that can be done to absolve him of the accusations.